Welcome, Capricorn and Capricorn cross watchers, to your reading for this week. So I've been really excited to do these reads this week for you guys. So it's called The Good, the Bad, the Hidden. So it's just a general reading. There isn't any love intention set. I do, of course, have weekly love reads that come out every Sunday. So you can check the playlist section for those week by week. And of course, the new ones will be coming out on Sunday, and next week I will start with the February 2023 love readings. And of course, there's something special for Valentine's Day, so please keep an eye out for that. So I hope you guys are having a great week so far. Sorry, I'm just trying to focus for a second here. Okay. Capricorn. We have the Four Wands, the Hierophant, and the King of Swords is kind of overall energy. And then the good we have is leap. You go first, the universe will catch you. And I do feel that there is an opportunity that's coming here, but I feel like you are, it's almost like there seems to be quite a bit of doubt here for sure. I feel like to a certain extent, it's almost like you're busy, you're handling your business, you're doing your thing, and I feel like there is this, it feels like there's this person that is wanting your attention, and I feel like you're in an energy where like, okay, yeah, I see you, but you know what I mean? It's almost like they can't wave and you're gonna go over there, you're gonna come running, right? It feels more like whoever this person is going to probably have to come right to you. I feel like, and it's not that you are, trying to stick it to anybody, and maybe it's coming across that way, but I don't feel that it is. I actually think that this person knows that you are a busy Cappy, right? It's like you have things to do, and it's like, yes, fun is great. Yes, celebration is nice. But I feel like you seem to be really invested in something that you're doing here. I feel like you're starting to get some recognition for it. I feel like you may be moving into a role where you're going to be able to start teaching people. And I feel like because of all of that, if someone wants to come and pursue you or enter your life, it's like they're going to have to do it. And it's not you, being a snob or anything. You just have a lot going on. So the challenge here is Sisterhood of the Rose, Beauty and Devotion, Priestess, Mystic, Teacher. Don't be mad. Capricorn, I feel to a certain extent that you may have had someone who taught you certain things in the past, and I feel like they seem to do it in a way that you did not want to repeat. And I feel like that it's almost like you seem to feel that in order to impart wisdom or in order to teach people, it's like you have to have some sort of appearance that you don't make mistakes, or that, and maybe it isn't exactly that, but it just feels like you see this as you have to be perfect. Everything has to be this in order for you to push forward. And maybe it's that I feel like you may have seen other people act as teachers, but to you, I feel like they were kind of, again, not trying to be mean, they may have failed at it from your perspective. And I feel like you seem to be holding yourself to a really high standard. And of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel to a certain extent that it's almost like you're robbing yourself of some of the joy of teaching what you're teaching, of passing along that knowledge, because it's almost like you feel that you can't partake in the, well, that's not it. It's almost like you feel that you have to be setting this example all the time, and in order to always set that example, it's like it does feel in the beginning that you were doing it because it was really what you felt was correct. And I feel like the longer that you're in this energy, It does seem to make you feel not isolated necessarily, but um, and it's not even that lonely at the top energy. It feels more like it's like you really enjoy teaching this, you really enjoyed passing along this knowledge, but it seems to be something that is um, starting to become dampened. It's like it's not something that you're enjoying the way that you used to. It's not giving you the same satisfaction. It almost feels like you're doing it and you still maybe love the material that you're teaching or the knowledge, like maybe it's the topic that you're passing knowledge on. Um, and it could be something, as simple as maybe you're tutoring somebody or something like that. But anyway, um, it's almost like you never thought you would get bored with this topic. And because of the way things are going, I feel like you are. I do feel like you are. So I'm just going to grab a. What is this? So it's for this leap card. So we do have the Aquarius card. So we have Three of Wands, Eight of Swords, and Page of Pentacles. So this is what it feels like. May not be the actual situation. Excuse me. I feel to a certain extent that you may have felt that you had an opportunity to have the level of success, excuse me, that you're about to do or you're about to have right now. And I feel like it seems to be not so much that you feel you made an error in judgment, but that you jumped the GUN. You know what I mean? It's like last time, again, may not be the actual situation, but it's the energetics of it. It's like last time you jumped before it was time. And I feel like you didn't get what you needed. You didn't get what you wanted. You didn't land properly. And so you had to start again. And I feel like you actually are coming to this, I want to say, juncture with a much more humble spirit. And it's not that you weren't humble before. It's almost like you were a little too excited. You know what I mean? It's like when if you have an animal or a dog and you take them to the dog park, it's like there's the dog that's going to wait there patiently while you get their thing off because they know they're about to have a good time. And then there's the other one that like they're practically jumping out of the car or out of the I mean, of course you might have got there a different way, but it's like they can hardly stand themselves. They just need to get off that leash so bad because it's like being there and having that exhilarating time, it's filling a need that is almost ongoing. Whereas, so that kind of was your energy before. It's like getting that opportunity, feeling like, yes, I'm really doing this. It's like you've already, you have that need either met or you've learned to kind of temper it. It's almost the energy of like you've learned that, well, this is a need that needs to be met. You don't place all of your happiness, value, worth in getting this need met. It's like it's one of many. And not that you have many needs and you're needy. It's more this need was really big and that's what made you a little too impulsive. I feel like for some of you it was against your better judgment, but it's like you saw the opportunity, you took it and were like, yeah, let's do it. And it's like as you were doing it, you're like, oh, this was too early. I feel like to a certain extent, it's almost like you may have felt that you didn't listen to your intuition. You didn't this, you didn't that. I feel like when you are, not that you've become indecisive, it feels like in the past you may have been in an energy where, because there was some sort of impulsive decision, it's like there's a bit of a heads up here that there may be times where where there are opportunities and you are strong enough to make that leap, but you don't. And it feels like it is a protective mechanism, which of course we all need those, right? but I feel like you know that there are times, there's things that you're missing out on. And I feel to a certain extent, you know, the certain, I want to say risks that you wish you had taken, but it's not a like hindsight is 2020. It's like you just would have enjoyed the experience of whatever that was. It feels like part of this empty feeling where you're not enjoying the material that you're teaching anymore is coming from um, feeling like you have to say no to a lot of things that your heart wants to say yes to out of duty, out of responsibility. And of course, we all like, listen, it's not to knock responsibility or knock doing, you know, your due diligence or, you know, maintaining that, for example, if you have a family to take care of, making sure that that's taken care of and you're doing your duty to make sure that they're provided for. It's more like it's a mentality that maybe it's not a self-defeating necessarily. It feels like you're looking through a lens of feeling like there isn't a lot to break out of where you are right now. It's like you seem to see it as like, oh, it's just time to put in this kind of almost like flatline work. And I feel like there's a message here. Hang on, actually, before I get a card for the hidden. There we go. So we have at the bottom of the deck, yes, just say yes. And then we have, I'm probably going to say this wrong, Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? I feel like there's something that kind of really makes your heart sing here. And I feel like it's something that you have been, it feels like it's been a long-term goal. And I feel like you see it on the horizon. And I feel like part of this feeling of kind of emptiness is that it's like you're not allowing yourself to look at it as a possibility. Not that you're saying like, oh, I can't do that, I'll never get there. It feels like you're trying not to focus on that particular goal. Because I feel like it's almost like if you focus on this particular goal, or at least this is your feeling, and act like you have it, I feel like there's a certain concern from you, or it's like as soon as you get into that energy of like, oh, that's going to be so great when I get there, it's almost like you feel that will make you complacent somehow. That somehow if you aren't kind of drilling down on yourself and being really disciplined, that you're not going to reach it. And there's almost this message of like, yes, you are. Because I feel like even if you feel like you aren't going to take the most linear path there, it's like you're already on, unless you choose not to go towards it, I feel like you're already close enough that it's like you'd have to close your eyes and walk towards it to miss it. You know what I mean? And I feel like there seems to be a lot of opportunities for happiness along the way when it comes to connecting with other people. I feel like, excuse me, there's a lot of ways that you're going to be able to bless people as you move along. I feel like there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to see people really get something out of a connection with you, and not because you're overgiving, but because you're helping them understand things, because you are helping people, I want to say, like, to believe in themselves by believing in yourself, right? So it's like as you take steps towards this goal that you want, you're inspiring other people, and it's not even a purposeful act. I feel like it's something like just the way you move, the way you talk. Um, I don't feel like you're somebody that, it's like if you did really good on something that you're going to sit there and parade it around. I feel like if anything, you may be a little bit on the other side of the spectrum. Not that you're not confident in your own abilities, but it's like you really don't lean on them to feel good about yourself. For example, if you've reached a certain success in your career, I do feel to a certain extent that you may downplay, and maybe even to yourself as well, what you did to get there. And it's almost like it is an almost like superhuman effort that you put in. And I feel like because working like that is just something that you did because it was what you wanted, and of course you're going to put the work in. I feel like there's a message here that you maybe don't see that. So what I've, come to understand is that often when you are a natural at something, you don't really see yourself as being good at it, which is strange, I know. But when it's something that just kind of comes naturally to you, it just seems like you, and I'm not saying you specifically, I'm saying people in general. So when something, for example, if somebody is a natural leader, oftentimes they don't see themselves as a leader because it's something that's so natural to them. So they don't see how it's any different than what anybody else is doing. And I feel like that's here. And I am going to be honest with you here, Capricorn. I feel like you may not quite see that just yet. I'm actually seeing some of you getting like this cute little smile, which I absolutely adore. Really love it. Because I feel like, it's almost like there's this really great feeling. I'm trying to put some words to it here. Maybe I'm not supposed to, but I'll try. It feels like a real satisfaction within yourself, within your efforts, because it's like you are on your way and you do feel really good about your efforts. And I feel like to a certain extent, the fact that you have kept some of the effort that you've put forth to yourself, that also seems to be really gratifying for you. It's almost this energy of there's certain things that you may not be, kind of warning people about or giving them a heads up. Not in a negative manner, right? But it's like if you know that there's going to be something that's really hard to do, and the person that you're talking to, it's like it would cause them to give up, or there's a higher likelihood that they would never do it in the first place if you told them about that. It's like you might put it on their radar and be like, hey, just keep an eye out for this. But you're not going to stress the difficulty, the level of difficulty that it brings, because I feel like you seem to have confidence in them to do it on their own. And the fact that you're at such a high level and you have confidence in these people, it seems to, it's like it's one of those thoughts when they're like, oh, you know what, I don't want to do this. Well, but they did it, and they see, you know what I mean? It's like they seem to be not comparing themselves to you, but using what you've done with yourself as a goal, as motivation. And it's not that they're trying to get to where you are, anyone's trying to copy you. Maybe they are, maybe they're not, but that's not what it's about. It's that you aren't just getting to where you want to go for what's going to make you happy. You doing that and just being yourself about it, really, it's giving people what they need to go after their own dreams. So I feel like this card needs to come out to play as well. So we have the, these cards are just really thick. So the other card here is the birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I feel to a certain extent, you may feel like you're getting downloads. There may be times where it's like people ask for your advice and you don't really remember even what you said afterward. And I feel like too, maybe you're somebody that's very spiritual, or you're good at channeling messages. I feel like part of you wants to say that you don't do that, or that that's not a skill that you have. Um, but I feel like as you're hearing those words, I feel like you realize that that's actually what you've been doing. It's like you've been an open channel. Um, and it's like everyone that you've helped along the way, you've been open and humble enough that you've learned things as you've moved through those. You know what I mean? So it's like you haven't been sitting here acting like you're, top notch and everybody else is down here. Um, you have been acting in a way where it's like, of course, you're not perfect. Maybe you don't do this every time you talk to somebody, but I feel like you're somebody that makes an effort to speak in a way that people love to hear you, and listen in a way that people love to talk to you. You know what I mean? It just feels like people walk away from conversations with you feeling uplifted. And it feels like it's not quite that energy where, you walk away feeling heavy. I know, of course, sometimes that can happen, right? If somebody has something really heavy, they're talking to you about it, they're getting it off their chest, sort of thing. I feel like that's not the kind of interaction the cards are talking about here. It's talking about those where it's like you see somebody in a place of confusion, or like being stuck, stuck in that, it's like they're trying to walk through tar. And I feel like you seem to um, have some words of wisdom to help them keep doing it. It's not even, hold on for a second. It's like maybe you have tips or tricks, but I feel like to a certain extent you don't seem to make it easier. You just seem to make them feel stronger. So I feel like we are going to pull a card for a message for moving forward. I'm just looking at my decks here. 1 second. Can we get a message for Capricorn? Yep, that's one final message. Here. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck. We have the Sun, the Four of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles reversed. So here's the thing. We all know that when you are doing really well, there's always going to be people that want to bring you down. There's always going to be people that want to knock you, that want to this, that want to that. And what's really great is that I actually feel that because you are who you are, because you're holding yourself to a high standard, and you talk, speak, act, move with integrity, I feel like when people try to come in and kind of, knock you or say something crappy, it's almost like people will just stop interacting with that person. It's almost like it shows bad judgment on that person's part that they think poorly of you. And I do feel that there may be people that are interested in you romantically. And I feel like there's a message here to remember what you bring to the table, and be very careful about these romantic interests, because it feels like this person seems to want to come in. For example, if this person sees you as somebody that's like, not that you're putting yourself there, but this person sees you as above them, or it's like they see that you've elevated, or you're this, or it's like, oh, I don't even think they think that you think you're better than anybody. It's more they just want to show everybody else that you can be played, that you're not infallible, right? So it's like they'll come in acting like they're all lovey-dovey and they're all happy, and I feel like you may see like what's in front of you tangibly is a match, but the energetics of it, it's like it just feels wrong. You know what I mean? I feel like how do I say this? it's like they might say the right things, they might do the right things, but it's like they seem to look to you for approval. It's like maybe they're doing something really great and charitable, but I feel like they seem to look to you too often to see, like, oh, is Capricorn seeing this? Oh, do they? Because I feel to a certain extent this person kind of does want your approval. And I feel like they seem to think that if they somehow make you seem more human to them, or whatever, I don't know how to say that. It's like if they're able to take you down a notch, they're not going to feel as insecure about themselves. And I feel like there's a message here that you may see a genuine emotion coming from this person. And I feel it's not about you. I feel like there's something like dark and twisty in there. And I feel like this person, it feels really inconsistent, but it's like, but then they have all the right words, all the right things to say, all the right excuses, but something's off. And I feel like it's important that this is someone that if it feels off, it's off. If it feels like there's things you shouldn't say to this person and you shouldn't trust them, don't. Because I feel like this is somebody that it's almost like they kind of don't want to take you down, but they will if they can. They will knock you down a few pegs. I feel like they see it like no one can kind of really fill your shoes. But if they can get in there and they can feel victorious by taking you down, by mistreating you, by not, mistreating you, not putting the work in, it's like they want to find your weakness and expose it to the world. And I almost want to say, like, keep trying, because it's not, biatch, keep trying, because I feel like whatever this person thinks they're going to expose about you, it's not there. So again, the message is to really trust yourself. If you hear a message, like, don't say it, don't tell this person, don't tell them right now, don't do it. Be in this King of Swords energy. Make sure you're not telling people what's going on. Make sure you are protecting the things that are very important to you. I feel like it's really important that you listen to your intuition. There's going to be times where you feel like you want to tell somebody something, but until it feels like, okay, now it's the right time. Or hold on. There may be times where you feel like you want to tell them, and you're looking for a time to tell them, and then you want it to be the right time. It's not the right time. I hope that sentence made sense. It's more, if there's a strategy, or if there's kind of like this plan that you feel you can put into place, it's like, wait for the intuitive hit to start laying the groundwork for that plan, rather than, I feel like there's things that you want to tell this person, that you seem to want to celebrate with them. I feel like this person, it's like you might want to celebrate with them, but then they're going to go back to everybody else and be like, oh my gosh, can you believe it? Capricorn, it was like trying to get me to, praise them. They were trying to act like their shiz doesn't say, you know what I mean? It's like they're just going to flip it around. They're going to turn it. They're going to twist it. And I feel like if you just keep being yourself and listen to yourself, especially when it comes to them, they're not going to deter you, not even a little bit. If anything, it's like they may begrudgingly follow in your footsteps when you get to where you're going. So I think I'll leave it there, Capricorn. I can't remember if I said this at the beginning of the read, so if I already said it, I apologize. The new February 2023 reads are coming out next week. We have the mini weekly love reads on Sunday. And I do have, of course, something special for Valentine's Day, so please keep an eye out for that. And have a safe and healthy week. Much love. Bye.